Broncos. Now, in the last 10 minutes, we got a little bit of clarity on what this deal actually is, okay? The initial report was Broncos signed Dobbins to a one-year deal up to $5.25 million contract. We weren't sure what was real and what was not from a guaranteed versus an incentive standpoint. We have it now. Mike Kliss, actually he's quoting Pro Football Talk, who had it first. The deal is really a one-year deal for $2.745 million. All right. $2.5 million more is incentives based on rushing yards and total yards. So just think of it right around $2.7 million guaranteed, another $2.5 million in incentives that he can go earn on the field this year.
Oh, I don't like the incentives. And it's probably like all-purpose yards. Well, here's the kicker for JK Dobbins. And it's like flashbacks to me. RJ Harvey's going to be out there a lot as well. He's a second-round draft pick.
Right.
Sean has a vision for RJ Harvey. Probably coming out of the backfield more as a receiver, third down back to start. And then if he's doing better and doing well, he'll give him handoffs. Well, if you're trying to get all-purpose yards, it doesn't matter how you get them. Running the ball, catching the ball. Well, if you have incentives for it, and if you're Sean and them, you say, hey, we're going to give you it. If you're George, because George is the one dealing with this, we're going to give you these incentives. But in the back of our head, we don't think you're gonna get to them,
right?
Because we're gonna utilize more running backs than just you. And so J.K. Dobbins maybe at the beginning was upset and said, "Hey, that's why I don't want to sign with you at the beginning. That's why I want to go home." And then you come back to the table, you sweeten it up and give him a little bit more money up front, and now he's a Denver Bronco. I'm speculating, but it's just this is what goes on in these buildings.
Yeah.
And you want your money as a running back, you want to get as much as possible.
If it's possible. If it's possible, will Sean Payton help J.K. Dobbins reach his incentives?
Yes. He has done it multiple times for players with the Saints. All right, Jameis Winston being one of them. He has done it here with Cortland Sutton. All right, trying to get his incentives. There's been a couple other players that needed incentives last year. He was able to get them their incentives. He's a player's coach, and that's why you can trust Sean. And Sean said, hey, I've done this for multiple players. Trust me, if you're close to that incentive, I'm going to make sure I give you the opportunity to get that incentive, to get that money, because that's why it's there for you to go out there and get.
And I think you're right. Well, I know you're right. You're citing past history, which
You're
is
damn
real.
right I'm right, Zach.
But he also, said to Zach Wilson a year ago, it's my job to make you millions here or elsewhere. And if that's your mindset with a backup, by the way, I can't imagine it being much different with a starter.
A backup.
Yeah.
No,
Good
backup.
Good point. So what do you think the benchmarks could be? And hopefully we get them here in the next 24 hours. That'd be great. But what do you like? Knowing what we know about Dobbins, knowing what we know about his injury history, knowing what we know who he is on the field when he is healthy.
Yeah. Maybe over 1,000 all-purpose yards. Maybe 1,100. Maybe it's 800 rushing, 850 rushing to get an incentive. Maybe it comes down to touchdowns. You need to have 6 touchdowns to get this incentive, right? Maybe it's you need to have a certain amount of carries.
Certain amount of games played.
A certain amount of games played. That's another one. You need to be able to play 15 games this year, 13 games this year. You can put an incentive to anything. You're just creating something to say, hey, this is a milestone, and if you get it, here's your money. So my guessing is because of the injury history, you brought it up, Zach, it is going to be you need to play a certain amount of games to get
like
$500,000.
Like a game day roster bonus. Like if you're active in 12 games, we'll give you X amount. In terms of his yards from scrimmage, JK Dobbins, and we're talking about Dobbins again because, guys, news of the day, JK Dobbins did sign a deal with the Denver Broncos. Last year was his first year over 1,000 yards from scrimmage. He was 1,058 yards from scrimmage. He played in the 13 games. Man, if he can honestly do exactly what he did a year ago right here in Denver.
9 touchdowns rushing.
And of course we want more. We want him to play all 17. But if he can have that kind of season where he's over 900 yards, that would be the most productive runner that we have had since you, right, here in Denver.
Yeah.
The 9 touchdowns, that's a lot for a single season. I'm curious. I don't remember your touchdown total, but I think that would represent maybe the most in a long time.
More than me. And it comes down to this. This is why it sucks being a little running back, Zach. You get to the red zone, they want to pull you out.
Oh, I remember.
JK Dobbins, he's a bigger running back.
Right.
You get to the red zone, he's going to get his opportunities to get in the end zone. And he's a hard-nosed runner. So if JK Dobbins can break a couple long ones off, but also get into the red zone where it's at the 5 to 2-yard line, he's going to have his opportunity to get his touchdowns. And when you have someone like Evan Ingram and Courtland Sutton and these receivers, it's going to make it easier where the box is not going to be stacked on you because you have to respect the pass game. You have to respect Bo Nix. So J.K. Dobbins has an opportunity to put 9 or 10 touchdowns on his resume this year again.
It's a big deal. I mean, nine touchdowns, that's more than a little bit. So if he can have that exact same season here in Denver, again, I know we want more, but if he could have 905 yards, 9 rushing touchdowns, 153 rushing yards in the pass game for over 1,000 yards from scrimmage.
What's the Denver Broncos record? What's the Denver Broncos record if this happens?
That's a great question. I would just assume it would be, let's say, 11-6. Most wins since Super Bowl 50.
I love it.
Yeah.
I want some more of it.
What do you think?
11-6. I say you might go 12-5 because you have a run game. This is like, and we're speculating that he's going to have these stats again, but he can have as long as he's healthy. But as long as he can be out there and he can move the chains and he can break off a couple explosive runs, we can win a lot more games. You're talking about beating the Chiefs. You're talking about beating the Chargers because you're controlling the clock. And then all of a sudden, Evan Ingram's wide open. Courtland Sutton and Vele are wide open. Marvin Mims around the corner on an end around.
It's multiple.
It's going to be fun.
Very multiple.
It's going to be fun.
I would imagine this would be the best Denver Broncos offense since 2014. Be the best Denver Broncos offense in over a decade. And it was already the best it had been last year in about a decade, fully anticipating it because of the duality of the offense now between the run and the pass. It's going to make everything better on that side of the ball, and hopefully defensively too. Obviously the kind of one hand washing the other there, staying on the field and having those guys catch their breath. So other minicamp observations outside the big news of the day that J.K. Dobbins is on his way to Denver. Evan Ingram, we saw him leaping for a touchdown in 7-on-7. You just mentioned him. He caught it from Jarrett Stidham. It was one of the 3 or 4 best plays of the day.
Back shoulder pass, too.
Back shoulder. Got to see the athleticism on display.
And that's what you're looking for. You're looking for Evan Ingram to be healthy, to use that big body. And it was good to see Sparky, a.k.a. Jarrett Stidham, out there, but I really want to see Bo Nix continue to connect with Evan Ingram. I would have loved to see Bo Nix connect on that back shoulder pass to Evan Ingram and not Jarrett Stidham. And I know it's OTAs and everybody's just getting out there and it's about the reps.
Yep.
But the more that Evan Ingram and Bo Nix can get on the same page, the better. We're seeing, Zach, we're out there, we're seeing Bo Nix and Evan Ingram and Courtland Sutton going off to the side during special teams. They're talking. They're getting on the same page. That's great to see because now you're picking that brain. That's something that Courtland wasn't there last year to do.
Right.
And that's why it was interesting during camp last year with Courtland and Bo where they were arguing because they weren't on the same page.
Correct.
But now Courtland's there. Now Evan Ingram's in the building with Bo. They're getting on the same page now, so it looks crisp during camp.
Yeah. Okay, so we had that Ingram touchdown. That stood out. I wanted to mention this, that Troy Franklin, when they were out there with the ones, all right, from a receiver standpoint in team, it was Sutton, it was Mims, it was Ingram, and it was Troy Franklin. All right, not Vele because Vele wasn't there today.
Yeah.
But I'm bringing it up because it also wasn't Pat Bryant either. A top 75 pick. In the hierarchy right now, even as underwhelming as Troy Franklin's rookie year was, he still on paper has a bit of a leg up on a top 75 draft pick, even like Pat Bryant.
As he should. Troy Franklin was playing in a lot of games. Troy Franklin was able to have an impact there for a little while where you got to see the separation, especially in the playoff game. Pat Bryant's going to have to earn his way on this roster. Yes, he may be on the roster, but when I say earn your way on the roster, it's playing, not
depth
just
chart.
being there.
Yeah.
Like you're going to be on special teams. We know that. But are you out there in meaningful moments, meaningful time where you're catching passes from Bo Nix. You're going to have to fight for that because Troy Franklin's not going to just give it up. Vele's not going to let Troy Franklin steal his shine and become the number one receiver. So now you have a competition going on. This is all about competing. This is all about competition. It is healthy, and it's going to make everybody better. It's going to make Pat Bryant better because now it's going to force him to learn at a higher level and just say, okay, where's the competitiveness? Do you want to make this team? Do you want to be out there? Ball out then. Ball. If you ball, you get the call, like Deion used to say.
If you ball, you get the call.
I got the call.
You got the call.
I got the call.
Real quick, 30 seconds.
Cincinnati game.
Yeah, reset that story.
It was like 167 yards, and I get a random call because ESPN just has everybody's numbers, I guess. And he was on ESPN. And I get a call. It was a FaceTime with Coach Prime. And I'm like, Coach, what's going on?
Did someone from PR tip you off hey, you're getting a call
Patrick
here?
Smite.
Okay.
Pat said, hey, there's going to be a guy that calls you. It's a surprise. All right, cool. I get the call, and it's Coach Prime. And he's like, what's up, baby? You're on my show. If you ball, you get the call. I'm sending you a T-shirt. It's in the mail. I still have it.
You still have it?
Still have it. I should bring it in.
You got to bring it in one day.
Yeah. And he said, I've been watching your game. You're this little rookie, but you're out there balling out. Keep doing it, son. Keep doing it. And it was great to
That's awesome.
hear it.
That's a great moment.
You were on TV, right? You were on ESPN at that time.
Yeah.
So, if you ball, you get the call.
And now he's the coach at your alma mater.
Yeah, and
now
like
he's
a
full
the coach.
circle, really cool. I wonder if he remembers that because I know he made a lot of those calls.
I'm going to bring the shirt and wear it just to see if he does remember having that show.